National Football League. This is the final week of workouts, individual meetings, teams, and players. It ends on Saturday. Let's just walk through the laundry list of names. Shedeur Sanders is like a cement block. You throw a cement block into the water, and it sinks. There are now scouting combine mock drafts that no longer have Shedeur Sanders in the top 10. There's one that has him dropping all the way to 21 to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I think the longer this has gone, the worse it's gotten for him and the way he's acted. Now, Sanders changed his mind at the last minute because he was boycotting individual meetings and workouts. His response a week and a half ago was, "You got 4 years of my tape. Just go watch that. Don't need to throw in front of you. Don't need to talk to you. Just go watch my tape." Well, you do need to sit and talk to the head coach and the offensive coordinator. And what's the negative if you can make all the plays to having a private workout? He changed his mind today in Boulder, Colorado this morning. He had a private workout for the New York Giants, but this is after all this other damage has been done. He's not going to be pick one. It does not look like he's going to be 2 or 3. And all those other teams don't need quarterbacks right after that. His candidacy has really dropped. I mean, the fact that he's slid at least to 9 and a couple of mock drafts have him slipping into the 20s, absolutely amazing. One that's really risen, and this is kind of hard to explain, Taylor Shough was a quarterback at Oregon, went to Texas Tech, and then wound up at Louisville and played really well at Louisville by himself. Didn't have a good team around him. Big, stay in the pocket, kind of like a Joe Flacco type guy. Stay in the pocket, strong arm. And his stock has gone up to the point some people are of the opinion he might be taken at the back end of the first round, or he might be the first quarterback that goes into the second round. Jalen Milroe, Alabama. This kid had a tremendous sophomore season under Nick Saban. Started pretty well under Kalen DeBoer this past football season, and then fell apart at midseason and just was terrible at the end. And anyhow, he's kind of rebuilt his resume through private meetings, and he's done all the throwing sessions. He's done all the private workouts. He's climbed to the back end of the first round, or maybe very early in the second round. There are now some teams that are really looking hard at Milroe from Alabama, not to come in and play immediately, but they think there's great upside there. And the other one is the kid out of Syracuse, Kyle McCord, 6'3", stay-at-home pocket guy, gun for an arm, led the country through for almost 4,800 yards for the Orange last year as a one-year starter after transferring out of Ohio State. And he's had really good workouts. Now, only concern, because I've watched video of him and I followed him, he does throw an awful lot of interceptions. And that's just a case of young guy always trying to go down the field, make plays, etc. But boy, he threw for a ton of yards at Syracuse. So McCord has now positioned himself maybe to be a second rounder, if not the top of the third round. So it's always a quarterback draft, but this year, John, it does not look like it's going to be. I went back and did a rundown of 5 of the top mock drafts that I pay attention to. The general consensus is of the top 32 picks, first round, 18 of the 32 are going to be defensive players. 6 are going to be offensive linemen. So that means 24 of 32 are not quarterbacks. There's going to be 1 running back. There's going to be 3 receivers. That's what the first round is going to be. It's absolutely stunning because this is a quarterbacks league, and you would normally think quarterbacks and skill guys would eat up a lot of the first round. Doesn't seem that way. I mean, I was shocked to see 24 of the first 32 picks are there going to be on the defensive side of the football or be somebody's offensive tackle, offensive guard. That's kind of interesting. So you want to talk about Shedeur dropping like a cement block, or these other names rising up? Go ahead.
I could just picture you like with the mafia throwing Shedeur Sanders over the bridge. But you had, remember we speculated that Shedeur Sanders might go to the Raiders at 6. But now I think the Raiders are looking beyond him, right? I mean, they're going to commit to Geno Smith, and so, yeah, once you get beyond the Raiders, the next team that needs a quarterback, is it the
it might be New Orleans at 9 because of this Derek Carr controversy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But that's not a guarantee that it's him, that it's going to be Shedeur, because he didn't work out for the Saints either. Do you think Shedeur's handled this thing right or wrong?
Well, at first, we think it's 4D chess, that Dion was scheming and he was trying to get his son to the team of his preference. But I don't know if this is really working out that way. He seems like he's pissing people off left and right. So I don't get it. What about the other kid, Jackson Dart? Is he somewhere in this list?
He's in that mixed bag, and some people think he might be taken ahead of Sanders, but others say, well, he threw for a lot of yards in Lane Kiffin's offense, but is he a complete quarterback coming out of Ole Miss? I think Dart is like Shough is like Milroe. These got different strengths. They're all probably going to be second-round draft picks. I'm not sure which one's going to be a star. I've heard more positive things about Shough than I've heard about any of the others, and I have just huge questions about the immediate impact of Milroe, but he's such a great athlete. People of the opinion that could be another Lamar Jackson, but not right now, not next season, but down road.
Well, just a little bit of a tangent. You might already have this plan, but we're talking about the NFL draft. You got a plan coming up on Monday, right?
Oh yeah. We just promoted. We're going to do our draft preview is going to be Monday at 1:30.
Yeah, well, we need to promote it specifically in this segment, because it's going to live on its own, this segment. And I want people to know about Our Lads.
Yeah, Our Lads Draft Guide. John Cooper, their draft editor, will be with us again on the live stream, and we'll break down each of the positions in the draft in the first round, the guys that he likes, because they scout these guys. They do it differently than a lot of everybody else. So, and then we'll talk about his mock draft. But he'll be with us. NFL Draft Preview, Monday, 1:30, Our Lads Draft Guide. Okay, we go from that